Hi everybody, welcome to Mermaid Song Tarot. I'm so happy to be here with you for your full moon reading for the month of February. Now this full moon is in Leo this year. This is a snow moon, and the full moon in Leo this year is also transpiring at the same exact time that we have Mars and Venus connecting. So this is definitely going to be the month of love. It already is with Valentine's Day, and our full moon falls on February 16th, 2 days after Valentine's Day. And it's all about how we can connect, open our hearts to love, and also have the fun and fire and good times of the Leo sign. So I'm going to do a reading for you, and I'm going to be using the Mermaid Tarot. This is always the deck that I use when I do love readings. So since it's about love and opening our hearts to love and connecting that way in all of our relationships, I wanted to use this deck, which is especially helpful for that. As always, welcome. Glad you're here. And this is a general reading for all signs for the full moon. So take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Not everything is going to resonate with everybody, and that's the way that it's supposed to be. All right, as always, I like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, and fabulousness. And I ask that the messages be clear and concise and for the highest good of all parties involved. All right, so we're going to ask ourselves some questions during this full moon. Of course, full moons are the culmination of everything that we've been trying to implement since the new moon. It's a time of completion. It's a time when we look at what we've done in the last 2 weeks. Is it bearing fruit? Is it the result that we want to bring forth? And then analyzing that and figuring out what works, what doesn't work, and moving forward. So that's what we're going to be looking at. As far as the full moon in Leo, we've got some questions, and I'm going to ask one question per card. As always, I do elemental type readings, so each card is going to represent an element and a vital question that goes along with that. So this is kind of, you know, some of that internal stuff that tarot is about. There'll be some external things as well. The first card that I'm going to draw is going to be for the element of earth, which has to do with our resources. And the question that goes along with that this full moon is, how can I improve support in my relationships? So the earth element is all about resources. It's the same as pentacles in the tarot. And it is about those things that support us. If you watch any of my other zodiac readings, you'll see I do earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. So that's kind of what we're doing today. The card that we have today is the Six of Pentacles. So for this full moon, you can improve support in your relationships, first of all, by having childlike wonder. The Six of Pentacles always depicts some children. Usually another meaning to the card is that you will have a blast from the past, remembering childhood memories, good ones preferably, possibly someone from your childhood coming into your life or coming to mind. And as far as improving support, it tells us that we need to focus on having that childlike sense of wonder, that innocence, that joy in every moment, and apply that in our relationships. I love this card. This is a lovely card for the full moon in Leo. All right, so our second element is the element of air. That corresponds to the swords. Oh my, and we drew a sword, okay. And the question is, how can I better communicate? So swords and the element of air are all about our communications, our thoughts, our mental processes, and how we communicate those to the outer world. The card that we've drawn for this question is the Queen of Swords. So how can I better communicate? Well, the Queen of Swords, she is the communicator. She's the person who is able to balance. She's able to find the truth, and she speaks her truth. I think that's going to be a big issue. I don't want to say issue or challenge, but it is going to be a theme in this, not only this month, but upcoming months, that people speaking their truth. What's true for them and what's true for you may not be true for everyone else. So I think there's going to be an element of how can we communicate better with each other, and that's going to be to be more authentic, to be true to yourself and what's true for you, and to do so in a not only logical but clear, concise manner, but not ever argumentative or combative. It's not always necessary to bring that into the equation. I like that. All right. Our next question, which has to do with the element of fire, and that in the tarot corresponds to the suit of wands, is how can I express myself more creatively? And that can mean a lot of different things. We'll see what card we get. Ooh, love it. The Empress. I love the Empress in this deck. She's so gorgeous. So how can we express ourselves creatively? Well, the Empress is the mother of abundance. She represents abundance, fertility, creativity. She's definitely the card in the tarot that is the ultimate representation of abundance. And she finds joy in being creative. So as far as this full moon goes, something you might want to consider is, am I being creative? And we can do this in many different ways. This doesn't just mean being an artist or a musician, but you can be creative in your gardening in your yard, or in the way that you raise your children, or perhaps you're creative at your job. So think about different ways that you can bring your special brand of creativity to all areas of your life. The suit of wands and fire is all about that passion, right? The thing that really lights us up. Why we spring out of bed in the morning. So think about, in what ways could you be more creative over this next 2-week period from the full moon to the new moon. All right. Now, next element is going to be the element of water, which has to do with our emotions. It's also the suit of cups in the tarot. And the question that we want to ask ourselves is, how can I open my heart more fully? Remember, we've got that Mars and Venus connection. Ooh, and what do we get? I love it. We get the Lovers. It's a beautiful card. I love this card. So the Lovers card is all about connection. It's about opening to love. It is about sometimes people from two different worlds, as you see in this card, the mermaid and the young boy coming together and falling in love with one another. So it can be opposites attracting, which might happen to you during this full moon and this month of love. It's also about how we connect to others and we open our hearts and we see past the outer and we see into the inner person. I think that's going to be really important for opening our heart more fully, is to not pay so much attention to how a person looks or what they wear or their possessions, but how do they act? How do they speak and act? Do they show? People show you who they are in everything that they do. So in order for us to open our hearts fully, we will need to look past those outer things to see the inner person. I like that. All right, and our last one is, of course, connection to spirit. So we're going to draw a card for the element of spirit. And our question is, how can I better align myself with my higher purpose? There we go. We've got 9 of Wands. Now, the card of the 9 of Wands speaks about defense. It speaks about setting boundaries for the things that we protect and what we love, right? Defending what we love. It is the suit of Wands, which is the suit of fire. So this is, what we're passionate about, the things that we are passionately wanting to defend and or protect, right? So how can we align to our higher purpose? Well, this might mean that we need to set some boundaries. We may need to set some boundaries not only in relationships in our lives and make sure that our relationships are actually supporting us instead of dragging us down, but it also could be that maybe we need to boundary ourselves. Maybe we need to set some boundaries and, I don't want to say limitations. It's more like we're going to create a container for ourselves to protect our vital energy so that we have the energy to devote to our higher purpose. And I really think that that's going to be especially important. It may mean that we have to limit some of our relationships with those people and or things or activities that do not support our higher purpose. So that's a possibility as well. All in all, it looks like a really good reading. It looks like there's lots of great things that are coming to us in February. Some childhood memories, perhaps an old childhood friend, clear thinking that gets to the heart of the matter, a lot of abundance and creativity, opening our hearts to joy and love, as well as protecting and defending what we love and growing closer to our higher purpose. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading, and if you feel that it resonates with you, please share it with your friends, hit the like button, and subscribe so you can receive videos in the future. Also, I would love your comments. I love to see your comments. Please let me know if you like this way of doing the video where you see me, or if you'd rather not see me, that's okay, and I can just show you the cards. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you very soon for our March zodiac sign readings. Those will be coming up very soon. Thanks. Have a great day. Many blessings.